What's going on, guys? Hey, Repeat back with you. It is Wednesday. That means it's time for the NNR Xfinity Series to take their turn around this little old paperclip right in Virginia. Unfortunately, the one and only Rick James couldn't be here tonight, so instead, well, there's really no instead. You all know him from last season and this season as well. There he is, the man out in chat, the one and only Boehner. Boehner, buddy, thank you very much for stepping up to fill in for Rick. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Pete. Thanks for having me. Always fun to be in the booth with you. Excited for some Martinsville action tonight. Should be a great race.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race. A little bit of difference too. They're not going to be able to qualify due to some issues, so they're going to kind of line them up by points. Take about 2 or 3 laps to get in and get going, and everybody to get into place. This is the second short track season. Second short track race of the season so far. The only other short track we've been to so far was the high banks of Bristol. Here we are, half-mile paperclip, very flat. What are you thinking tonight, and any standouts for you, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Martinsville's probably one of the trickiest tracks in the game. A lot of guys, Pete. Fortunately, last year I think in the Xfinity I was able to take down both those races. But it's a very tricky track. It's easy to push loose off the corners. It's easy just to be flat loose off the corners. Tire management is going to be key. Got to take care of those rear tires, and just whoever's the smoothest and can roll the corners the best. That's going to be the guys who are going to be forced to be reckoned with. I think. JR Big Dogs out there is going to be a real threat. Mathers is always good. You got Master Killer. You got Kudo. I'm forgotten Shadow. There's a lot of guys in this field who I think have a good shot to win. But if I had to bet on someone, I'm going to go with Big Dogs.
Yeah, JR Big Dogs. He's been very, very dominant in the turn down for what league, the series that the one and only NNR Papa Bear runs and owns and runs and whatnot. I think he's got like 6 or 7 wins on the season. He's just been walking away the entire season so far. And I kind of put the challenge out to him. I said, man, this is the last race that I broadcasted for him was his 6th win. I said, man, I think it's time to accept another challenge. What do you think about NNR? And next thing I knew, you had reached out to you, or he reached out to you. Not quite sure how that all came to be. And then there he was, shown up on the roster. And, yeah, he was able to put together a great race last week.
Yeah, absolutely. I've only had a chance to race with him a couple times. One was a custom setup at Darlington, and I was really impressed with him. And then we actually raced at Martinsville in some little truck race, just a little fun run. And man, I couldn't pass him. I felt like I had a little better truck, but he's very, very savvy. He's already got a good reputation on the game. It's good to see him in NNR, and hopefully he doesn't put too big of a hurting on these Xfinity guys.
Well, he had one hell of a car last week. We'll have to see how he handles the paperclip. Like you said, a lot of those J-Pop militia guys are going to be out there on track tonight. Q-Dog, he really hasn't been any kind of a slouch this year. Neither is Cole and Master Killer. It seems like that whole team is really firing off on all cylinders, and they just work very, very well together. Rock NASCAR out there in chat saying hello to everybody in the booth, and good luck to all the drivers tonight. Rock, as always, absolutely appreciate you. Glad you're there. I'll be keeping up with Combat Beast's stream just the same as you were a little bit ago to help us out with laps and fuel and anything else that we may see. And talking about seeing things, Boehner, you mentioned it just a minute ago about people really getting, breaking loose off of turn 2 and off of turn 4, where they're trying to really put that little bit of extra wheel in it to keep that car turning. And as the run goes along, the fuel gets lighter, the right rear gets worn, and before you know it, they're either looping it around or they're sideways across the track. I saw that once or twice last night. Hopefully we don't see too much of that tonight in these Xfinity cars.
Yeah, the Xfinity cars are a little, and the trucks are both a little easier to handle than the Cup cars here. But I still think we're going to see some guys snapping loose off the corners. It's just so tempting to get back on the throttle, uh, either too quickly or too firmly, and you really got to. This is the one track in the game where I really feel like you have to drive like there's an egg under your throttle and have to be kind of old school with how you exit the corner here. But some guys, Pete, they like to slam it into those corners as quick as they can, almost come to a stop, and then drive it off as quick as they can. I don't think that's going to be a recipe for success in the long run, but I think we'll probably see a lot of that, and hopefully these guys can take care of each other and get woed down and not drive all over the top of each other. But yeah, I'm going to be curious to see what sort of lines these guys are racing right out of the gate, and I think that'll give us a good indication of who's going to be strong as the race goes on.
Well, I tell you what, you and another guy that's very, very good at this game, think just alike. I had the one and only Lucky Dog in the booth with me last night for the trucks, and he said the same exact thing. And I was thinking it
Oh,
just
really?
before he said it about an egg underneath the gas pedal that you don't really want to smash that pedal. You got to kind of do it gradually and allow the car to pick up speed coming off the corner. We saw a couple that were able to really get some pretty decent runs. T-Glass was phenomenal coming off the corner in the beginning of the race, and Bowling was right there with him for a good majority of it. But T-Glass he figured out just a little something extra in that truck that Bowling wasn't able to do. But in the end, it came down to a restart with about 10 laps or so to go. The guys were clicking off laps about 20 seconds, and the laps just flew by. But during that caution, T-Glass decided to go ahead and pit. He came out in fifth or sixth spot and was not able to make up the difference. Meanwhile, Bowling stayed out on tires. He said were right around 96, 97%. They weren't too bad, and was able to hold off the field. So we'll have to see if we see something like that tonight,
Yeah.
or if these guys go mostly caution free.
Yep. Well, I didn't see last night's broadcast, but I'm really happy to hear that the champ had the same opinion on how to drive the track as I did. That's comforting. But also, I would, champ being Lucky Dog, Pro League champ for those who don't know.
Yep.
But tires, Pete. It's Martinsville is not like other tracks where, the tires are really. I feel like for most setups and most presets, they're really good for about 20 laps. I mean, you can, at least for me, I can hit my fastest lap on lap 10 or even lap 15. The way I kind of set the car up and drive the track. So if there's a caution late in the race with, and they only have 10, 15 laps on the tires, I really don't think it's going to be a good decision to come in. You just don't really make up. It's not like Bristol or Dover or any of those mile and a halves where that couple laps is going to kill you. Martinsville is just totally different. Sometimes the tire pressures come up after 5, 6 laps, and you're actually a little quicker from that lap 6 to lap 12, 15 window, just depending on how you have it set up. So bummed out. I missed. It sounded like it was a great race last night. So hopefully we get a duplication of that tonight. But Pete, I'm also curious. Do you think we got left out here? Should I go hop in the other? Okay.
Nope.
Cool.
Combat Beast actually just sent a message through his stream a moment ago, about a minute or two ago, saying 3 minutes till showtime, and he'll make sure that he hits both of us up as they're getting ready to get loaded in. They're having some issues with actually getting into a lobby, so they decided to break a little bit from tradition, create a public lobby, and try to do it that way. So hopefully once you and
That's
I are
tough.
in,
Yeah.
hopefully we can get in and nobody else out there tries to spectate. That would be kind of bad for us. But
Yeah.
we'll figure it out one way or another. Now, one thing about last night, that I'm kind of curious to see what'll happen tonight. I just got an invite from J-Paw. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Hopefully it's not too early and get in here. Let's see. Survey says, hey, I'm able to watch. You should have just gotten one also from Combat Beast. If you didn't, let me know, please.
Nope, not yet. If you can send it, that'd
Yep,
be
I
great.
absolutely will right now. That way you're not left out. Invite to game, and because it's giving me the option, it should mean you're still able to. Hopefully that's what that means. But what I was kind of getting at, just a second there, Banner, was in stage 1 and stage 2, the trucks did not have to pit. They were able to go all out on fuel. Yeah, some started to get a little loose as time went on, but there was enough fuel in those trucks to go the distance during stage 1 and stage 2, but they did have to pit during stage 3. I don't know if we'll see the same thing tonight, but we're about to find out. Again, these guys are going to take 3 pace laps. They're going to line it up by points because they couldn't actually qualify. And, yeah, we'll get ready to set this field up and take them green.
Yeah, it should be the same thing, Pete. It's going to be with the times to where they shouldn't have to pit the first 2 stages, but certainly they will be coming down for the 3rd stage. They're going to have to pit at least one time. I think it's going to be about 120 laps in that final stage there.
All right, kind of pacing the field right now with the 9 of Q-Dog in this Exalta Echo Park Camaro. It's a nice looking car, and I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Must have been one of the newer DLCs. He's got the 47 of Bill's Legend right behind him. Then the 1, a Cole 315. And it actually looks like they are pulling over to the side, might be trying to get a little bit of a qualifying session in, kind of a modified start, I guess. Maybe either that or J-Pa is calling them out one by one, depending on points. So I'm starting to see people pull on up and get into position. So that could be also. So let's go ahead.
Yeah,
and
J-Paw's just getting them lined up here. I think they pretty much said the hell with qualifying. So,
okay.
At this point, so they should just be trying to get lined up here in the right order. Run a couple pace laps, make sure no one gets the boot for stopping, and now they'll start taking their positions here, Pete.
All right, well, let's kind of take you through the field pretty quick. You got the 9 of Q-Dog with the 47 of Bill's Legend, the 1 of Cole 315, 22 of AZ Yotes King, 38 of Outlawed, 51 of the one and only Honeycutt, 99 of Zachary Jason. Welcome back to NNR one more time. Combat Beast rocking that 8 Alsco uniforms Camaro. We'll be riding along with him for fuel and anything else that may come our way. We got the 98 of Master Killer, a very big NNR veteran. 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. Shadow started up his own league on Sunday nights. It's called the Shadow Racing League. 9 races. The winner at the end points gets a pair of tickets to the Daytona 500. Phenomenal offering by that guy. Then you got the 0 LXTX7. The 44, the one and only Baritone Boss. 7 of JR Big Dogs. There's, I guess that was your pick for tonight here, Banner. Rocking that 7 Brant Camaro. Then you got the 15 of King Mathers, another one that's very strong that you mentioned earlier. 36 of Classic Stu. The 90 of Twizzle, 171. And back up front with the one and only Q-Dog. And I'm guessing he's going to be setting our pole as they start their one and only pace lap. Here we go, Banner.
Yeah, Pete, looks like they got it all situated. Like I said, turn 1's going to be interesting. We'll see if they all give each other room getting down in here. One guy, Twizzle's kind of a wild card. I'm curious to see if starting from last, he'll be able to pick his way up through here and be a factor before the end of this. He might be strong as well, Pete. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be fun. Looks like they're coming to the green.
Yeah, coming to the green, working my way back up to the 9, riding on board right now with the 8 of Combat Beast, 98 of Master Killer in P2, Q-Dog hard on the throttle, heading into turn 1, first and second, able to dive down real quick, 8 able to stay on that bottom line, leaving the 15 of Master Killer to the outside, right now, first through 4th, really battling hard, keeping the 15 pinched out. Boehner is 1 lap under green already. Here we go, starting lap number 2.
Good clean start, Pete. As you can see, Q-Dog's out front with Master Killer, Mathers, Then we got the 8 there. I believe that's Combat Beast. Back in the field, it looks like everyone's looking real clean as well, Pete. So good, easy start here.
Yeah, everybody giving everybody just a little bit of room. 7 kind of dove in there a little bit deeper than the 38 did, but not too bad. Didn't use them up terribly, but JR Big Dogs and the 38 just have a difference of breaking points, or so it seems. 7's able to get in just a little bit harder and still able to get that 7 Camaro in turn, where the 38 might be taking it easy getting into the corner. Vols fan, thank you very much for the sub, sir. And also, buddy, congratulations on picking up the broadcast gig for the brand new Shake and Bake Racing League. The Truck, Xfinity, and Cup Series now belong to you. Congratulations, buddy.
That's very cool. Congrats, Vols. I tell you what, Pete, Q-Dog is checking out right now. It looks like Mathers has gotten by Master Killer, and he's in second, but Q-Dog's got himself a good half a straightaway lead here, about 6 laps into this thing.
Yeah, really up front, got that 15 and Master Killer way back as Q-Dog hits the start stripe. That 15 was just coming off of turn 4, so the 9 was clearly able to get up and get going, get through those gears. Just a banner on that shifter, able to get that wheel turning, and right now there's no looking back for this Exalta 9 Camaro out of the June Motorsports stable, and it looks like the gap right now is pretty much staying the same between those two.
Yep, he's able to get out front, start getting in a rhythm, Pete. I mean, this is one of the biggest rhythm racetracks we come to. I mean, it's really easy to lose, the driver can be the difference in 2 or 3 tenths if they just kind of miss their braking points or miss their line a little bit. So it looks like he's out front. He's hitting his marks and laying down some smooth laps as we got the Unforgotten Shadow in the 78 getting by Master Killer now. He's slipped back to 4th. Looks like he's a little tight here to start the race.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm sure everybody's going to have to work on. I've seen some people start off on a pretty high preset here and work back to kind of snug it up to their liking, and some that start low on the preset and loosen it up to their liking in order to get the car to where they like it. Right now, they've been green since the drop of the flag, and wouldn't you know it, I did it again. I didn't put out the stage info. Still trying to get used to all that, but there we go. But riding back here with that 38 of Outlawed, he sent a message out in the team comms that he had changed his gamer tag, but for the life of me, I can't remember what his gamer tag was. Rock, thank you very much for those 300 bits, sir. What was that?
Yeah, he didn't change it too much, Pete. He just went from Outlawed Beast to Outlawed Tennessee here. It looks like XTN. So.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. All righty. Let's see. 51, a Honeycutt. This guy's like all over the place. I see him here in NNR, see him in Shake and Bake on Thursday night. Plus, you can catch this guy on iRacing. He runs in the PSES Racing League that's broadcast by, I think it's like PTM or something like that. But they race on Monday nights, and NNR has actually got a 5 or a 7 truck field to help out in that series. It's almost 40 trucks in that gig. Not bad at all.
Whew. Yeah, 40 trucks. That's a lot, Pete. That's a lot of cars on the racetrack. I mean, I like the big races, Pete. That's fun. That's just a lot to keep up with and a lot of chaos that you're opening the door to.
Yeah, it's they actually asked me if I'd stream that, but then my wife went ahead and volunteered my Monday and Friday nights to join a dart league of all things. But you know what? It's time out of the house with
fun.
her. Yeah, it's fun. She kicks my butt, but that is all right.
Very cool.
There's the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, as you said, right now running P3. Got a pretty good view on the back end of that 15 for King Mathers. And I tell you what, here, Boehner, it looks like the 15 is slowly but surely starting to reel in that 9.
He is slowly but surely kind of riding on board with him now from my screen. He's doing a really good job of rolling the center of the corner. I mean, he looks to me like he's doing exactly what we kind of talked about as far as, rolling the center of the corner, nice low exit, smooth off. He's looking good. He's not reeling in Q-Dog super quick, but it looks like he's definitely making up some time on him right now. Same thing with Unforgotten Shadow. He's doing a good job here too.
Yeah, Shadow he was all about getting this race started. Um, because they couldn't all get into a lobby, they were worried that they might actually have to postpone the race to maybe Friday night or Saturday or something like that. And then somebody came up with the idea, why don't we just run it in a public lobby and kind of go from there. He wanted to get this race in, and so far sitting here in P3, really running down the 15 while the 15 runs down the 9. Looks like he was optimistic for a pretty good reason.
Yep, it looks like it, Pete. It looks like, I think here in about 5 to 10 laps, we're going to have a 3-car battle here for the lead. But in the meantime, a lot of mixing up going on in the back. I saw the Zero of LXTX kind of got on the curb a little bit, something you don't want to do, and lost a couple spots to Outlaw, and I think it was Bill's Legend who squeezed by him also. So those guys are racing in the top 10. Master Killer continues to drop a little bit. He's back here in the 7th position now, as a couple other cars have gotten by him, but it looks like he's starting to lay down some good laps by himself. It's so much harder to drive this track when you're around cars, Pete. Once you can kind of get separated and get a little gap between yourself and the cars in front and behind you, you can run your line, make a lot better lap times.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, Coyotes fan for life wants to know who's the top 10. Well, I can tell you that the 9 of Q-Dogs up front, 15 of Master Killers in P2, and the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow right now is in P3. Beyond that, it's just a little bit harder to tell. We've only got one person kind of helping us out with the lap count tonight. But as soon as I get an idea from his stream, I'll definitely let you know. As the
here, I got you, Pete. We got right we got Combat Beast in 4th. Big Dogs is up to 5th. It looks like, give me 1 second here. It looks like can't tell who's in 6th at the moment, but I will be able to here in a second.
I'm going to guess it's probably Bill's Legend, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's a couple spots. Oh, it's Honeycut. Sorry. So Honeycut's in 6th, and then you got Cole, 315 in 7th. Behind Cole, it looks like Master Killer, then Bill's Legend, then you got LXTX and Outlaw. That's going to round out your top 10 there.
There you go, Coyotes fan. I tell you what, pretty interesting little conveyor belt of cars. Behind Master Killer and the 0 of LXTX 747 of Bill's Legend. A little bit of lag right there in the room as the 90 of Twiz, I believe, is kind of running behind these guys, but they're all kind of behaving. It seems like because they've been around each other so much, they kind of have an idea of each other's braking points and haven't really been running each other over. As you can see, the 90 really get on the brakes right there pretty hard to not hit the 38 in the rear end. Here's the battle between the 38 and 47. 38's down low, 47's stuck on the high side, and I think because he's out there, he's also going to lose that next spot as well. Nope, 90's going to duck back on in.
Yep, and then while that was going on, Pete, we actually had a change for 2nd place, and right now we got Q-Dog under heavy fire from Unforgotten Shadow for the lead, and King Mathers is sitting right behind him just watching him. Looks like Unforgotten Shadow's getting through the center a little better, getting to the bumper, and now he's just trying to pull it down and get position on him going into 3.
Vols fan, thank you very much for the 5 subs, gifted subs. Looks like you gave one to the one and only More Than a Cape, Rick James, and others. Absolutely appreciate that. Gave you one there, Banner. Man, definitely very, very big thank you. And looks like here's bowling and camera carts. Man, thank you very much, Vols. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Can't wait till you get back on American soil. It'll be nice to talk to you during our time again instead of us being awake when you're sleeping and vice versa. As it looks like we got a brand new leader. 78 Unforgotten Shadows got that Toyota in the wind.
Yep, he went by. He got something. The lobby lag. What just happened there?
I think just about everybody crashed out.
Oh my gosh! Yep, there goes the server.
What a shame! What a shame.
Well, doggone it, Pete. I don't know if
No
they're.
bueno.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't know if this is going to happen tonight, man.
Yeah, it kicked me. We'll have to. Well, let's see. It was a public lobby. Let's see if they're actually still racing, and it was us that lagged out.
I think the odds of just us two being the only two lagged out is not good, but I like your optimism.
Right? It's got to
But
go somewhere.
yeah. So I think they just were tired of us broadcasting. They're like, we need Rick James back in here. Let's get these guys. Let's get these
Yep.
guys out
Nope.
of here.
Look. Yeah. No, because Combat Beast he is actually still out there racing, and the caution is out. So something must have happened. Can you pop into Discord and see if you can get us a? Well, if it's not showing
I'm
up
on
here,
it.
thank you, sir.
Yeah. Let me see what I can find out.
You got it. Thank you. Well, I guess we can take about 60 seconds or so. Again, Falls, buddy, thank you very much. Absolutely appreciate you. We're going to take a quick commercial break so Banner can try to find out what's going on, and then we'll be right back. Let's visit NNRleague.com, take a look at the Zazzle store and everything that NNR has available. So next time you head to the track, once all this COVID crap is gone, negative there, Vols fan. I'm not singing. Hopefully when all this COVID crap is gone, we can all get back to the track at one point or another. We'll be right back.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat Preset League on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to NNRleague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red. Hey NNR fans, don't miss any of the action by following or subscribing to Repeat's Twitch channel. Turn on notifications and you'll always know when the best preset league on Xbox hits the track. Check out his YouTube channel too to see all of NNR's past races. Follow No Name Racing as well as Repeat 1975 and others on Twitter, and you'll never miss any of the action.
All right, guys. Thanks once again for hanging out. All right, so word back from the one and only J-Pod, the Xfinity Series admin or owner, says that they're going to go ahead and back on out of this, and hopefully they can get this restarted. But they're only going to do a 50%er rather than the 100% all over again. So I definitely appreciate all your patience. It absolutely does not go unnoticed. Vols, I cannot sing for the life of me, especially Amarillo by Morning. That is extremely too low. And unfortunately, although Bing Crosby is in the family, I did not inherit any of those pipes. So, ladies and gents, we will be back here as quickly as we possibly can. Definitely appreciate your patience. Please stay tuned, and we'll try to pick this back up as quick as the lobby is reset. Thanks, guys. You know what? I just can't leave you guys like that. You guys are troopers, kind of hanging out, sticking it out with me. Boehner's gonna go and keep tabs with Cole and J-Pod and Bill's Legend and all those guys for a little bit until we find out exactly what's going on. I can tell you that they are back in the lobby, maybe trying to recreate something private. So hopefully we don't lag out again. But what kind of streamer would I be to y'all that are out here and keeping me company and being patient than to just not really be here with you, right? So I guess these red lights are kind of fitting since we're kind of under a red flag. Hey, why not? Commando Griff, start doing stand-up comedy, Pete. We're all still here. Commando, the best I got is why the chicken crossed the egg, and I can tell you it's not to get to the other side because it got run over. Anyway, no. Or I got one for you. All right. Cowboy rides into town on Friday. He stays 3 days and leaves on Friday. How's he do it? We'll see if anybody out there can get that. Hold on 1 second, Boehner. Let me unmute.
Live.
I have been live. I couldn't leave these guys just hanging. So yep.
Cool. Well, they're firing it back up right now, Pete. So we should be getting our invites any second here.
Yep, Combat Beast and J-Pod just sent me one, so I'm gonna guess I need to get one over to the bearded one right now. Doing
yes,
so as we go. Boehner's celebrating the wife's birthday. Well, what will be his wife, I guess. Is that true there, Boehner?
No, but that's a few months away. Oh no! He's saying he's celebrating his wife's birthday. I asked him why.
Oh, okay. It just says Boehner celebrate. Okay, gotcha. Well, congratulations, Commando. All right, so we're back out here, kind of almost as they set. I guess we're just gonna go green because more than likely with all that lag and what was the word that Lucky used last night? Kerfuffle that we had in the lobby. They're just going to go ahead and get after it. The 9 is more than likely going to be the control car. It looks like they're all going to have a chance to come on down pit road. And more than likely, Boehner, this is probably very close to where they were before. You figure, I don't know if they were going to be able to go all the way on that first tank of fuel or not. But we're going to try it out one more time. It's lap number 1 of 125. So you figured out, you figure they've burned out just enough. So I'm going to up this from being stage number 1 to stage number 2. And we'll have to see how we settle, as everybody's going to get a chance to come on down, make any adjustments that they can make in that short 15 or 16 seconds, come back out on track, and then that good old green flag is going to fly.
Yeah, that's right, Pete. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to get lined back up the way they were racing. I'd imagine that's what they're going to try to do, when they come off pit road here. But I'm glad they went ahead and let them come down pit road and make those adjustments, because otherwise they were only going to get one pit stop in this 125 lap. What's now kind of a sprint, huh, Pete? 100.
Yeah, it's kind of like a good old Saturday night feature over here at Orange County Speedway, where. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it's like. Cameron, I actually got this from the NNR owner, Coey. He got me a stage 1 card. Here, I'll show you. He got me a stage 1 card. He got me a stage 2 card as well as a final stage, so not too bad. And when or if that caution ever flies, or black flag or something like that, let me go ahead and find that for you. Here's the checkers for when it's time, and hopefully we don't have to put this one out too often, but here's our good old caution flag. Thanks for showing the interest, buddy. All right, looks like the 15 of King Outbreak is going to go ahead and beat the 9 off of pit road. So Boehner, what you think? They're going to try to mirror where they were before the room issues, or do they just go green?
I think they're going to try to get it set up as close as they can here because I see the 78 driving up to the front of the field here. So we know he was the leader,
Yep.
before all that, and it looks like Mathers is sitting here in second, and I see Q-Dog in third, Cole in fourth. So yeah, they're getting lined back up the way they were racing before there was that lobby issue.
And you know what? That's probably pretty fair. I was still keeping an eye on Combat Beast's stream, and he was still out there racing. I'm guessing during that time, even though the room had went to garbage, I'm guessing they were kind of realizing where they all were, and J-Pop was kind of grading it all down if he didn't lag out. Either that, or he's just kind of going off of these guys, and their integrity as far as where they were during the race, because they know each other's going to call them out and say, no, you weren't. But yeah, 78, 15, 9, the 7, and the 8 of Combat Beast. That's going to make up our top 5. They're all doubled up, Boehner. We're going to go through 3 and 4. Buddy, we're going to rely on you to go ahead and take us green when we get to that Boehner restart zone.
Sounds good, Pete. I think they're probably going to go at the start-finish line here. Wait till the nose touches. Looks like Big Dog is all the way up to fourth here, Pete, as well. So he's entered the picture. And as they creep to that start-finish line, there it is, and they're off. So heading down into turn 1. So far, good clean start for the leaders. Let's see if they get single filed out here. Oh, Q-Dog raced it in there hard. He's going to take over third here off 2.
Yeah, just kind of catch on to what they just did there. The 78 and the 15, they went at the line, and the 9 and the 7, they went at the line, and the 8 and the 51, they went at the line. So they got a little bit of separation between them. It's pretty good, pretty clean. That's going to allow these guys to really get back into some kind of a rhythm and not have to worry about guys on their quarter panel right on the restart. Although you see this 9, 7, and 8, or 7, 8, 9, all very, very close to each other.
Yep, and Big Dogs was able to get by. Q-Dog got his nose under him, a good run down the back straightaway. Now he sets his sight on the top 2 of Unforgotten Shadow and Mathers. Behind them, we got Combat Beast. He just made a move by Q-Dog as well, so move him up to 4th as Cole is challenging. I believe that's Honeycutt there for 6th position as well.
Yeah, I tell you what, the back end of that 51 car for Honeycutt looks like he's actually run the entire race, or was unable to fix the damage from the previous race. He's got that entire back end all smashed in. But Boehner, you know just as well as I do, you go down this pit road, even though we see them making contact like crazy with each other, they're just simply driving through, and no issue. But the back end of Honeycutt's car is completely destroyed.
Yeah, when they came down pit road, I saw some guys flipping and stuff. So I think that's all just pit road lag. It doesn't really affect them on the track, just affects our broadcast as to how the cars look right now. So I wouldn't put any stock in that damage there. I think these guys are all at 100% health.
Well, since we're green, let's go ahead and switch up our lights. How about that? I kind of get a little bit of a lag shot to the back end of the 36. I think that might have been the 98, and that shot him ahead just a little bit. But classic in that GGM Racing Camaro, I'm not quite sure if what we're seeing is a little bit of instability in the room, or if he's actually lagging. Hopefully it's him, and the lobby will actually stay somewhat okay. 98 of Max Killer giving the 22 a good old shove. 22 right behind the 47 of Bill's Legend.
Yep, and then I just noticed Pete also, it looked like Outlaw had an issue. He fell way off the field. The leader's actually only about a straightaway behind him. The car looks okay, all things considered, but I think we missed, maybe he had a quick spin or had an issue because he's dropped to the rear of the field after being in the top 10 that first stage.
Yeah, trying to find it. There is Outlaw. 38. Yeah, he's definitely got the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. Not too far. They're in the same corner as the 38 comes out. 38 is, or 78 rather, is right in the center of the corner. But it looks like 38 was able to put a little bit of a gap back on him as the fight for first place is about to heat up between the 78, the 15, and other company. I'm trying to work my way back up to him right now.
Yep, and then you got Big Dogs. It looks like he's starting to look to the inside of Matt. Ooh, a little loose off too. He's going to tuck back in behind, but applying all sorts of pressure to Mathers. And you can see he's rolling the center pretty low there, pretty low exit. Car looks good on the 7.
Yep, trying to work my way. I can see the 7 up ahead. There's the 15 of Mathers, and now riding online here with the 7 of JR Big Dogs. So far, they are 16 laps in of this 125 lap shootout. This is the battle right now for P2. King Mathers has it out there on the high side. 7 of JR Big Dogs completely dove it in. 15 had nowhere to turn in. So now these two are going to run nose to tail for a little bit of separation. But this 7 Brandt Camaro, I've actually got this diecast sitting right in front of me. It's a beautiful car.
Great looking car. Looks like it's racing great. I think Mathers, moved over to kind of let him go there. He's been applying pressure to him for the last 5 laps or so, and that caught big. I've had that happen before where it catches you off guard. You're not ready for the guy to move over. You drive it in like your normal entry or mess up a little bit on the brakes because you're not sure what's happening in front of you, and then slide up a little bit into the guy who's trying to do you a solid. But looks like they're back to single file. He's not exactly just ripping away from Mathers, so I think Mathers is just taking it easy here. I think he knows, it's going to be 2 long runs on these tires, so it'll be interesting to see if that 15 comes back strong later in the run.
Yeah, at some point during this run, I'll try to keep up when I can, or if one and only Combat Beast shares any of his other menus with me, see where we're at on fuel, on tires, and all that. But again, big thank you to Combat Beast for streaming tonight. That way we've had an idea as to what was going on with, unfortunately, a little bit of lobby instability. But I also definitely want to thank everybody out there that has really just kind of hung in there with us. It's been an interesting night. Boehner, I definitely appreciate you for coming out and hanging out and calling this with me. It's been pretty good so far.
So far, so good. And the 36 of Classics 2 just got roughed up a little bit by the 44 off the exit of 2, and the 22 went shooting by both of them. So I think that was, I can't tell exactly where that's at in the field. I think that's towards the back of the top 10 or maybe right outside the top 10. But these guys are really going after it here, Pete, as the 36 might be repaying the favor here shortly.
Well, as I was going through the cameras right there, I saw the 47 of Bill's Legend kind of get caught up and went around. I think this driver has called it a night. He's gone ahead and parked that Camaro on pit road. So 1 car down. That's going to be a few more points for somebody else, depending on where they finish. But yeah, Bill's Legend calling it early.
Bummer, tough break for Bills. It's hard to say whether he backed out or the server just did him dirty. Yeah, with that virtual blown motor. I'm going to say the server probably did him dirty. Hopefully that's not a sign of things that come with the rest of the field here. Hopefully everyone else can hang in there for another 95 laps or so. Man, the 44 and the 36 speed, I don't know where they're racing. I think they're back in 12th or 13th, but they have traded paint several times here.
Yeah, this 36, either he's lagging or something with the lobby. I'm going to guess it's him, because I don't see any real jumping issues from the 44, and every now and then it stables out. But yeah, I saw what you saw there. The 44 got underneath 36. There was a little bit of contact between the doors, but I almost wonder if the 44 was seeing the 36 lagging as well and said, hey man, I'm sorry, but I got this door, it's open, I got to get through it. I can't, I can't get damaged because your car may rubber band or something like that. So he did what I think he might have had to do.
Yep. It's certainly never fun to see that car wobbling back and forth in front of you there, and sometimes you just literally can't tell where that car's at. So who knows there? But heating up for the lead here, Pete. It looks like as they started to negotiate lap traffic, Zachary Jason got into the wall kind of as the leaders were going by him, but did a good job of keeping it up and not messing up either Shadow or Big Dogs here. But looks like these two are getting ready to start battling here for first.
Yep, picking up right now on that 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. And again, if you weren't here earlier, this man just recently started a brand new Sunday afternoon league. Starts right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's a very, very short season. It ends just about 2 weeks before Daytona, and the overall points winner at the end of those races wins a pair of tickets to the Daytona 500. There's some very big names in there, like the Aviator and More Smoke, J-Pop, JP Big Dogs, and quite a few others. It's a very, very packed lobby. I'm very, very proud to be calling those races. So, man, if you haven't already, go on up, smash that follow button, make sure you leave the notifications on so you know when I go live. So whether it's here with NNR on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, turn down for what on Saturdays, and now Shadows Racing League on Sunday afternoons, you won't miss a lap. It kind of feels like a brand new season, and so far the racing has been great.
Yes, Pete. The leaders are now negotiating lap traffic. Bill's Legend just went a lap down. I forgot Shadow here. These cars seem pretty equal here between the 78 and the 7. The 7 might be a little better as they start to close it in on Classic Stu here. Try and put him a lap down. But Pete, negotiating lap cars as your tires wear is a nightmare at Martinsville. It doesn't matter how good your car is. If you cannot run your line, or there's a lap car that's just in the wrong place at the wrong time, it can ruin your race. But so far, so good for the 78 and the 7.
Yeah, 78 and 7 both able to get around Classic Stu. The lag that he's got going on, again, whether it's showing on our screen or not, that caution looks like it's due to the 8 car of Combat Beast going around and collecting at least one other. All right, so the running order at that time: Unforgotten Shadow, JR Big Dogs, King Mathers, Combat Beast, Q-Dog. That's your top 5. Cole 315, Twizzle, Honeycutt, LXTX7, and Yotes King. That was your top 10. Cameron or whoever asked for that earlier, hope that helps you.
Good work there, Pete.
Hey, how about that? Yellow flags out, yellow lights on, and well, we'll go ahead and bring that back green as soon as they do, but not too shabby. I'll get I imagine that this being another chance for everybody to go on down pit road, Boehner, and make those additional changes. I'll go ahead and grab us a lap count as Combat comes across the start stripe, but I imagine that they would almost be good to go from here on out. 37 laps in at the line. There is 88 laps to go. They should still have to make one more pit stop.
Yeah, Pete, I think I'd be good to go from here, but I don't know how many of these guys would be good to go good to go from here. Certainly ways to save in Martinsville that I'm not probably going to share here, but I think
we've all seen it. We've all seen it, buddy. Throwing that car down in neutral, let the RPM sit about between 400 and 500. Throw it back in, coming off the turn, and away you go. Yeah, we've seen this.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, Martinsville is the one track where saving fuel. I actually don't do that. I don't utilize the neutral thing. But moving on. It's not about me. It's about these guys. and so it looks like Big Dog. He just took the lead here. So he's moved out front. He had restarted third, and now we got Shadow, Mathers, and Honeycutt now racing in fourth. And he's right up behind the 15 car here. So little 4-car breakaway here to start this run.
Yes, 7. You got the 7th throwback Camaro going back to Dale Jr.'s Chance 2 Motorsports days. It was this car, and then they had the Gossamer car. I've actually got both of those die casts sitting right here. It's pretty cool. The Gossamer car somewhat revealed what the Chance 2 logo was going to be. If you look at the hood, he's kind of peeling back the wrap, showing the bottom corner of the Chance 2 logo. Actually, you know what? Since we're here on camera, I can show you. Why not, right? So yeah, let's do that. All right. So on the front of the Gossamer car, as you can see here, you see let me see if I can get a better picture. You kind of see the Chance 2 logo getting peeled back by Gossamer, right? And then here's the original Dale Jr. Dirty Mo posse car. There you go. So that's that. Hopefully
Pretty
that
cool.
was a little bit of trivia for you. We'll figure it out.
Pete, my mic or my speakers in my headphone are freaking out big time. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna back out for a second. Here, I'm gonna turn my headset off and back on, and I'm gonna work on this thing for a second because you're just cutting out, and I'm just gonna be sounding like a dummy trying to go
I
off
hear
whatever
you
you say
loud and
here.
clear.
So
You got me.
okay, cool. Yeah, you got me, but I don't got you, so I'll be right back.
All right, buddy. All right, so we're going to continue to keep an eye on this as the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow now finds himself on the inside of the 7. Going to go ahead and try to take that spot back as he actually does. And now he's actually able to even gap that 7 by just a little bit, trying to work to the inside of the 99. Yeah, Vols, we are back and stronger than ever. Thanks to, I'm glad that you're back as well. Right now, what we're seeing here is the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, 15 of King Mathers. Both of them have the 7 kind of sandwiched right there in the middle with the 51 of Honeycutt right now sitting in P number 4. Pretty good field up in front of the 98 of Master Killer. Here's the 8 of Combat Beast. Combat had an issue, went around, got collected. That was the reason for that very, very short caution. But prior to that and before those lobby issues, these guys have been green and doing everything that they could. What's going on there, buddy? Good to see you, man. Your J-Pom Militia, hashtag J-Pom Militia boys, are doing pretty well. I want to say the 9 of Q-Dogs inside the top 5. I'll actually go ahead and pull this up for you. Here's Unforgotten Shadow and the 7 of JP Big Dogs. They've been fighting it out back and forth. These guys have been taking turns swapping for the lead. There's the 15 of King Mathers right now. All this right here is first through third. So as you can see, pretty much under a blanket. 38 of Outlawed TN and the 22 right there as well. 47 of Bill's Legend. Unfortunately, he had an issue, got caught up at the end of pit road, and it kind of ended his night very early. Dan the Lawn Man. What's up, Dan? How are you, buddy? Yeah, absolutely. Commando Griff, Unforgotten Shadow definitely has a great long-run car. Not too shabby. Let's actually go ahead and change that back to green since we've been back green. Forgot all about that. Combat Beast has a pretty good fight coming up in front of him. You see the 1 of Cole 315 and others. Those guys have been nose to tail, just following suit all the way around. It seems like Combat is able to slowly but surely reel them in. It just hasn't. He hasn't been able to fully, catch on just yet. Here is that 9 of Q-Dog. Sitting right behind the 0 of LXTX7, coming off 3 and 4, looking pretty stable. Q-Dog looks like he's got a pretty good handling car right now. J-Pop Militia drivers kind of running nose to tail. You got the 9 and then the 1. Nobody immediately behind the 1, so he can kind of just keep an eye on this battle in front of him and pick and choose where he's got to make his move. JP Big Dogs. JR is doing a phenomenal job tonight. Him and a little bit of lobby instability again. Hopefully we don't crash out. This is exactly what we saw before. And yeah, why not? There it goes again. Unfortunately, and I can tell you on track, I'll actually bring over what I'm looking at so you guys aren't completely bored. I will actually bring over what I'm seeing from Combat Beast's stream. There you go.
68.
Hopefully that gives you a little bit of audio as well. But yeah, there is that caution, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. Yeah, Balls, you you popped in before. You've done a great thing by gifting 5 subs to the guys here, and then I don't know, buddy. I don't know. But still, I definitely appreciate all the help. Now let's see what happens here. I'm going to leave this right here, but I'm going to switch on over to their team comms, find out what's going on, and I will be right back, ladies and gents.
Coming to the green, driver. Go, go, go. All clear. Clear left. Inside. Got a car coming high now. All clear. No pressure from behind.
I was eighth on my end. Yep. I don't know.
Inside.
Oh man, this game pissing me off.
Coming to the cross flag. Halfway this time by.
All right, I can see again, guys. Thank you very much. I don't know what's going on with all this. All right, it looks like they're going to go ahead and back out, but
This thing.
I don't know if they're just going to go ahead and call that. Yeah, go ahead.
25% are down, then that's going to count as stage 2. So it's going to be about 65 lap speed. They're going to stack them back up, probably do the same drill they did the last time, come down pit road, come off, everyone get in their positions, and they're going to try to get a 65 lapper into the finish.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring this back. So that was considered their stage 2, and what they're bringing up right now will be stage 3.
Yes, sir.
All right. Cool. So yeah, we'll bring up stage 3. Obviously back under a red flag, so we'll bring the red light back out. Once they get up and get going. Yeah, JP Big Dogs, it definitely has not played out in our favor at all tonight. These guys have, they've tried to get it going. It just hasn't. It hasn't worked for whatever reason. The lobbies have been very, very brutal on us tonight.
Yeah, Pete, I just put it in the chat there. Freaking virtual rain, man. But
there you go.
Yeah, Pete, I don't really, I love the game. I love racing. I mostly enjoy the community with NNR, and being involved with that is just a blast, and your broadcast. But I got to tell you, man, I've about had enough of these servers not operating the way they're supposed to. So, it's frustrating, man. But I think we all do the best we can to deal with it, and I think J-Paw's doing a great job of trying to salvage what he can by using the first 2 runs as stages, and everyone's been really calm, cool, and collected as the drivers in there, as far as being understanding. And that's really cool about NNR because, man, I mean, it's so easy to get frustrated over this nonsense. And, it's really cool. They're all in there chatting and working together to find a solution that makes sense and is fair for everyone. And it's just cool that we have a community of guys of like 80, 90 drivers who can all get on the same page, when we don't exactly get the product that we're expecting. So pretty cool.
Yep. Looks like they are getting loaded back in, so I imagine that we're going to go ahead and grab or get an invite here in just a moment. Can you actually ask them for one right quick? 'Cause I'm already showing the loading screen.
Yep, give me one sec.
Appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, Commando, I got it. Was it here or was it at Bristol where the track came up and actually went through the front end of Jeff Gordon's car? I was he. I think it was here, if I'm not mistaken, or it could have been Bristol. I just remember that track came up and went through the front of Jeff Gordon's car, and he had definitely had some issues.
Pete, they're going to be trying a private lobby here, so.
Okay, all right. So it's gonna take them just a little bit.
Yeah, they're still working on it.
Okay, very cool. So Dan the Lawman's out there in chat shouting you out. So he's kind of keeping up with. Oh, there you are. And in chat also. It has been one hell of an interesting race tonight, guys. Again, man, y'all need to be applauded for your patience. It has not been the easiest of nights to enjoy a race, enjoy a stream. Hopefully Boehner and I have, kept it interesting, jumping around the track, trying to find the best possible action on the track. But Boehner, so far, it really has been the 78-15 show since the drop, even before these lag issues.
Yep, and I think we got a better idea, since they did get some adjustments in, to start that last stage. I think the 7 and the 78 are pretty close. I think it's just going to be a matter of, who gets the track position and can just fight the other guy off. But I think the 7 is maybe handling the best. He looks a little bit like he's the smoothest through the center and on exits. But the thing about Martinsville is, Pete, like you were saying last night, I mean, a late race caution becomes decision time, as to come in or not. Anyone who's on the lead lap still truly has a shot to win this race. So I'm interested to see how it's going to play out here.
And you know what? Let's go ahead and take one more second just to show everybody what we were talking about, those junior motorsports cars one more time. Now that all the action's pretty much off the track, you kind of see where Gossamer is peeling back the label under his head, and it's revealing the bottom of the Chance 2 logo. That's kind of what I was talking about. And then on actual 8 car, the Dirty Mo, let me see, where's the camera? The DMP sponsors don't let you do that anymore. But yeah, that's the junior motorsports car that Junior ran. I remember when Junior actually ran the Gossamer car at Richmond. He spanked that field horribly. I mean, on the restarts and anywhere, he was phenomenal. So that car's got a pretty big history, and yeah, we'll have to see. So looks like D West Racing does remember that and agrees with me. And Bader, you might remember as well. He put out there in chat, or Commando Griff did, asked, is the asphalt cup on the track in turn 3? And it kind of sparked a memory. So you know right where I'm going with this.
Oh, yeah.
Where the track came up and went through the front end of Jeff Gordon's car.
Yeah, that was great, man. I was a Dale Jarrett fan all the way, so anytime something happened to Jeff Gordon, I was all for it. Especially, I think that was late 90s, right? Late 90s or early.
Yep.
Might have been 01 or 02. I can't remember, but yeah, man, that was bizarre. I mean, Gordon just dominated Martinsville at that time, and he was fixing to dominate again. And I think it was actually a piece of concrete.
Yep.
Had come up. It was either off of turn 2, and a few guys, I think, hit it before Gordon, but man, Gordon hit that thing square in the nose, and that just ripped the whole front end of his car, the radiator, busted everything. There was that was a bummer for Gordon, and all the Jarrett and Wallace and Martin fans cheered their asses off.
All right, so there's the invite from Combat Beast and J-Pot getting over to you right now. Looks like the private lobby hopefully will work. Before they had to go to a public lobby because they couldn't get everybody in. Looks like now they're able to get everybody in, so hopefully we can get in here and get this going and be done with this race. Again, thank you everybody for being very, very patient and sticking right here with us. We're now knocking on, it's still only about 10 o'clock, so we're not doing too bad on time. It's about the same time as a normal stream. It's just that we're missing laps, unfortunately. Combat Beast says, "Can I just say that 704 is pissing me off for this server crashing BS?" Combat Beast, you can join the rest of everybody else that's out here in chat, as well as Boehner and I, sharing the exact same sentiments. I tell you, Boehner, when a game you play on your phone uses the same engine that NASCAR uses for these races, that Unity engine, you know there's something going on. There's other engines out there that can be used to build and make a better game.
Yeah, Pete, I'm not too tech savvy when it comes to all that. I just know that, I can't remember it ever being perfect, but it seems like since this game has come out, it's been very difficult to have a smooth races. And it's never just one single guy. When the servers are just dropping out altogether, something else has got to be going on. I know they've been working on it. Supposedly, I got some inside information from some guys who give 704 some feedback. So I know they've at least been working on it, but or at least have been posing as if they are. But whatever. We can be.
I like that.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah.
At least posing that they are. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we all love the game. We all enjoy, racing on it and competing against each other and broadcasting and everything that goes with it. It's just if we could ever get a little more reliable, anything as far as the actual servers go, man, it'd be even more awesome, right? Is what I'm getting at.
Well, want to know something that's really awesome? I don't know if you saw earlier, but I tested out a new program that's going to, in the future, allow me to broadcast through Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube simultaneously.
How about that? That's pretty cool.
I was going to do that tonight, but with all this crap going on, I'm glad I didn't, because they'd probably follow and then ask for their money back. It has not been the best of scenarios, to say the least. But these guys look like they've been afforded the opportunity to go on down pit road twice to get somewhat back to where they had the car earlier, plus one extra time down pit road. They're going to rack and stack them up one more time here on this half-mile paperclip and try to get this race done. I'm pretty sure the 78-15 and the 51, if I'm not mistaken, were first or third earlier. I could be slightly off, but
the seven was up there. I think the 7 was our leader, and then it was those 3 just named.
Yep. So we'll see if those guys work their way back on up and get back to going again. 98 of Masterfield is on the inside wall. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him, but we'll kind of keep on going. There's a 99 of Zachary Jason. I'm almost wondering what they're doing here, Boehner, is if these guys weren't a lap down, so they're making them go one more lap down just to act as though this is picking up right where we left off.
Right, they're not going to give them the benefit of the server crashing to get their laps back, is what it looks like. So
yeah.
But at least we know those looks like they're the only 2 a lap down. Outside of that, we're going to have about 14, 15 guys all duking it out for the win here.
Vols, if this crashes one more time, I'm gonna ban you, I think. I'm just kidding, buddy. And again, thank you very much for those 5 gifted subs. Absolutely appreciate it. Boehner, here we go. One more time. 7 in the 78. They're going to guide these guys around. Then behind them, you got, you saw that, huh?
Yeah.
Then you got the 15 and the
Well done.
51. Then the 15 and the 51 just kind of reverse their numbers a little bit. The 0 of LXTX7, the 9 of Q-Dog, the 1 of Cole 315, the 22, the 8 of Combat Beast, and it looks like they've got a little bit of a 3 or 4 wide salute, not too far behind. Yeah, bowling. I know, buddy. I know.
I got the giggles, Pete. This is gonna be tough, man. That was too good. At least we're having fun, man. Hopefully,
Right.
hopefully everyone else is having fun with us. But
Oh,
God,
man.
that was good. All right, Pete. I'm gonna give it a shot here. It looks like they're coming to the line. And we're going green flag racing.
They're not going to play games with you. They know better.
Yeah, the 7 and the 78 make a little bit of contact there, 1 and 2, but it looks like Big Dog's is going to fire it into turn 3, and he's going to take the lead here with Unforgotten Shadow 1-2 there, Mathers in third, and then we got the LXTX looks like has moved into fourth.
I think that's 51, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sorry. Honeycutt,
yep.
then LXTX. Yep, there you go.
Got it, sir. So that's your top 5. Now, while Q-Dog right now, he's kind of mired a little bit back in traffic. He was very, very fast earlier. So we'll have to see if those 2 pit stops just before the green flag went, if it's going to allow him to work his way back up there. If he was able to free it up or tighten it up just a little bit. Have to see where Q-Dog is. Throughout the season, though, Boehner, he has been Johnny on the spot when it came to be within 10 laps to go or so. Q-Dog has spent quite a few post-race minutes sitting in the booth with me and Lucky Dog and the one and only Rick James quite a few times. So we'll have to see what he can do. Right now, he's working his way on close to and by the 22. If he can clear him right here, and I don't see a reason as to why he couldn't.
Yep, looks like he was able to slide on up there. Pete, and then Master Killer just hit pit road, so I'm not sure why that took place. But yeah, looking back up front here, it looks like the 78 still staying close in tow with the 7 car, and then we got Honeycutt who's moved into third, King Mathers in fourth, followed closely by LXTX, and then it looks like I think it's the 22 and Q-Dog still battling it out back there. Oh, the 22 just fired it into 3 into his door a little bit, got by him, so Q-Dog will settle in behind him. And then it looks like Baritone Boss and then Cole, and Cole 315 into 1 car. He's going to be rounded out 9th or so.
Yeah, there you go. Baritone Boss, or Cole 315. There you go. He's running that old Oreo paint scheme. Looks pretty cool. Another car that's kind of sitting right here in front of me. TMC Kenny, thank you very much for the follow, sir. Absolutely appreciate you. This is the one and only home for all NNR series, whether it's the trucks on Tuesday, Xfinity nights right here on Wednesday, and tomorrow night the Cup guys will take their turn right here at Martinsville Speedway under the lights. The one and only series that gets to run it when the sun's gone down. So we'll see how that goes. But man, thank you very much for coming along. Absolutely appreciate it. Don't shy. Say hey. Nobody here will bite you. I promise.
Yep, Pete, we got the lead. Keaton back up here. The 78's taking a look under the 7. And, ooh, a little bit of contact. Knocks him up out of the way. Clips the curb off, too. Slides up a little bit. And they keep it side by side down the backstretch. But the 78 did not waste any time. The first run he got on that 7 car, he took it. And he is going to be our new leader, Pete.
Yeah, 78 was able to get on by. 7, like you said, got washed up just a little bit. Looks like the 7 paid him back just enough. he kind of dove it in just a little bit, but he didn't hit him and pushed him up the track. He gave him the opportunity to woe it up and get right back into the groove. So pretty good, hard racing between these two. And now we'll have to see if the 78 repays that or if he waits for a later, more opportune time, like maybe coming off forward for the last lap to try to take that W. But right now, these guys are clearly the class of the field.
Yeah, but they keep beating on each other. We're going to see Mathers and Honeycutt and some of these guys get back up there. But yeah, it looked like the 78 got in there. It's like I said, it's really easy to do. Just get in there a little too hot, slid up into him. Didn't send him into the wall or anything, but you can see the 7 did not waste any time making sure he got back to his bumper. He hit him square though, Pete.
Yeah.
If you're going to get hit by a guy, you want to get hit kind of square the way. Big Dog's kind of moved him up a little bit. Now he's trying to check out on him, it looks like.
So just the way the 7 did that very, very cleanly to the 78, the 78, the lap or two before, he did it very cleanly as well. When the 78 came off the corner, he could have rode high and made sure that the 7 had no track to race on and put him flat into the wall. But he didn't. He still stayed one lane lower to allow the 7 to have a racing group. So these guys, it seems like they got quite a bit of respect between each other. And man, they're trying to duke it out amongst themselves. But as you said, the more they get after it, starting to see that old red 15 start to creep into the show. He has been, I'd have to say, arguably the 3rd fastest car all night long, and could easily contend with these guys. Might just be one adjustment away.
Yeah, and there's not going to be time for any more adjustments. So they got what they got at this point, unless there's a caution that comes out somewhere between now and the finish. But I would say, Pete, that initial contact between the 78 and 7, that's a situation where the guy on the outside, he has a choice to make. He can either try to drive it in there and hope he beats you to the center. If he doesn't, there's going to be contact. And then also if, the 78 gets in there hot at all, there's going to be contact. So, that's just Martinsville racing. But, the 78 didn't repay him, So I think the 78 maybe got in there a little hot. But, man, he's still all over him, Pete. I don't think they're handling awesome. I think they got good cars, maybe better than the rest of the field. But, once again, Pete, it's hard to run consistent laps here, especially when you have someone right on your bumper like that. If you're rolling the center a little more than they are and they're charging the corner a little more, I mean, it'll mess you up every time they kind of get into your bumper because you really want to get a good straight exit off the corners. And it's hard to do that when you can't run exactly the line that you want to run.
Absolutely right. I was kind of looking back from that 7 towards the 78, and yeah, those guys were pretty much right in each other's tire tracks. Pop Bear, thank you very much for the bits, sir. Absolutely appreciate you, man. Talk about Pop Bear and his Saturday night turn down for Racing League. They ran their Thanksgiving special this last Saturday at Talladega. Full setups, I think it was 20-something cars. And the one and only More Than a Cape from morethanAcape.org was able to come away with the win. Only him and 2 others finished on the lead lap. They spanked the rest of us. But it was also, I ended up, of all my pit stops, I think I got down speed once, maybe twice. Other than that, constant black flags. Either too much front weight or not. I think, no, I take that back. I had my brake settings on the wheel to set for Martinsville. That way when I got on the brakes, I didn't lock them up. So, yeah, it was kind of bad. 51 Honeycutt got loose and went around.
Oh, bummer for Honeycutt. Pete, right now the leaders are just going at it, man. There's just a little more contact on exit. Unforgotten Shadow is putting all sorts of pressure on the 7 right here. It looks like he's driving it in a little deeper. The 7's really trying to roll the bottom and get a good clean exit, but he's touched the curb a couple times, hasn't come off smooth a couple times, and it seems like every time he comes off that curb, the 78's there ready to pounce. And man, this is some good racing up front as they're starting to catch some lap traffic also, Pete.
Yeah, see, I'm not quite sure exactly who that is that they're catching, but you're 100% right. That's 78. I mentioned they were in each other's tire tracks before. Here they absolutely are. 78 is all over the back bumper of that 7 Brandt Camaro, and it seems as the 7 kind of goes high, the 78 is able to apply the brakes just enough and really get that car to set and get through the corner. Just a little bit lower than the 7, but it's not quite enough to really put any kind of moves. 78's just a little bit lower than the 7, just not enough to get on by. But yeah, these lap cars, I have no doubt. Now as the 7 goes a little bit higher, 78 down low. Will there be enough time to use the lap car as a pick? Will the 78 dive it in there? Yes, he does. Set the brakes, set the nose,
They
set
both
the
dove
gas.
it in there.
New leader, 78.
78 to lead, and it looks they're still side by side, Pete. It looks to me like the 7's just starting to slide a little bit on entry, and that's making it difficult for him to set in the center of the corner. And that'll happen at Martinsville as the tires wear, depending on your setup. If you start to get on the brakes, and if you slide into the corners, Pete, it just makes life so difficult. The car doesn't slow down as easy. You really want to have all 4 tires working together as you get on the brakes there. And to me, it looks like the 7's starting to struggle a little bit on entry as he starts to put pressure back. Like I said, Pete, they're just not handling perfectly, but they're handling well enough to battle it out here. This is fun.
Yeah, Bowling out there saying, here comes lap traffic. Absolutely right. I'm not sure if it was you or somebody out there in chat earlier that said one or the other just seemed to have a very good long-run car. And now this 7, it's like he's got Ken Squire in the beginning of this game playing over and over in his head, refuse to lose. He's not going to allow that 78 to get in front of him and stay there. That 7, he's very comfortable up front. He wants that clean air when he doesn't have a lap car in front of him. He wants the 78 to have to fight. And as these guys have continued to race amongst each other, Boehner, I don't see that 15 in his rear view much anymore. Fiend has definitely fallen back just a little bit.
No, as much as these cars aren't perfect from what I can tell, nobody else in the field is. So this is going to be fun, Pete, because both these guys, like I said, neither one of them are handling great. I can just kind of tell by how, neither one of them are super consistent getting into the corners here. So they're just manhandling their cars to try and get them to set and drive off the corners. 7 got a little breathing room here as he got by that lap traffic, but I bet the 78 is going to close back up on him here shortly.
Now, the car that they're coming up on right now is going to be the 8 of Combat Beast. Combat Beast right now is the last car in the lead lap. He's got everything to fight for, and he's usually just as fast. So will he give the 7 a little bit of a fit, or will he just go ahead and pull on over? I don't think he pulled on over. I just think the 7 was able to get off the corner just well enough. And here comes that 78 now also all over the back bumper. 8-car Combat Beast gracefully pulls to the inside, gives the 78 the high line, and enough room to make the turn in off the wall just a little bit. That's going to allow the 7 to skate away a little bit more of a lead now. Goes to the way of the 7. Going to go ahead and complete one more lap. Next time by, I'll go ahead and grab a lap. I think we got to be right about the middle of this count.
Rick! I don't know if there was Pete. The 51 just spun off turn 2, and I think he collected the 78 car, and now they're still wrecking in 3 and 4. I don't know if it's a lag issue or he wrecked. It looked really weird. But the 78 definitely drove right into the side of him, and now he looks like he has some damage here. So I think we're going to see a caution if one doesn't come out in the game.
I don't know. I don't know if J-Pop will call that manual caution or not. Right now, it looks like still driving along with this with the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow sitting here in P2. The 7 of JP Big Dog, or JR Big Dogs, he's got his bumper full of cars racing side by side. So this could be a good opportunity for the 78 to catch up if he can. I don't know if these cars about to go a lap down are just going to pull over for him. They've got a battle of their own going on right now.
Yeah, I think the 78's got some big damage here, though, Pete. I've watched him kind of enter some of these corners, and he is not able to get down to the bottom the way he was before. Looks like he's starting to figure it out, but the car looks like it's plowing a little bit. Some front-end damage will definitely make your car handle worse here. So I'm not optimistic for the 78, and I would have really liked to see how this was going to finish if that had not happened, but maybe there'll still be a caution yet.
Man, it's definitely possible. Those two cars that the 7 had to get past, looks like they're fighting more with the 78 than they did with the 7. That is not doing the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow any favors whatsoever. So barring a caution or something happening with the 78, I still don't see him, getting loose off. He could be applying that egg method underneath the gas pedal, making sure that he's just smooth, not having to really charge the exit. As now he's coming up to the 90, I believe that's Twizzle, going down the backstretch into 3 and 4, and we should be coming to about 17 to go, give or take.
17 to go, and Big Dog's biggest threat having an issue there as he continues to work lap. Ooh, little shot to the 90, and he's going to scoot on by. He might have bubbled him a little bit. So he's lapped. I think he's lapped up to the top 10, Pete. These guys are starting to drop like flies. He's setting a pretty good pace here.
Well, yeah, when he went by Combat Beast right now is riding in P11, so he is well into the top 10 right now.
Yes, sir. And then Mather's still running third, it looks like. Trying to see what other battles we might have going on here. Unfortunately, Honeycutt, he did have to make a pit stop after that wreck off, too. So tough break for him. But yeah, it looks like we got Mathers still running in third, and he's got quite a distance on whoever's back behind him. And it doesn't look like Mathers is catching up to Unforgotten Shadow either. So pretty spread out here in the top 3 at this point.
Yeah, I almost wonder if Mathers figures, you know what, just like you said, Boehner, really nobody anywhere near, behind him. As he comes across start stripe, the closest person was coming off of turn number 4, and that's not even to say that's actually 4P4. That could just be the next car. The leaders have absolutely gapped the rest of the lead lap cars with 12 laps remaining. I think probably the running order that we're seeing right now, barring, as Ballspan just said out there, that magical caution.
There's a wreck. There's the 99. He's spun out and stuck at the top of the track in turns 3 and 4. So it looked like a single car, but I don't know how he's going to get down with the way these cars are spread out. See if I can find him on my screen here.
Yep, I got him. It looks like he's going to just ride that inside wall out the cars that are coming on to his outside to get on by. Great track awareness and great communication by Zachary, Jason, and the cars that were coming on by, not to mix it up with them and just hold it on down. So good job by Zachary, and the race is going to resume. Now 9 laps remaining as the 7 continues to put pressure on the field. 78 and 15 right now, running second and third respectively, doing a pretty good job.
Yep, absolutely, Pete. As now the 78 moves up on Twizzle in the 90 to try and get by him. But it looks like the 7 is pulling away. He's got about a 2-second lead, it looks like, at this point, and it is growing.
Yeah.
Oh, big wreck on the front stretch.
There is
man,
that
it looks like
caution ball.
Master Killer. Looks like Honeycutt was involved. Oh man, Pete, what? There's like 10 to go.
When this is all said and done, we're probably going to have a 5-lap shootout. As they just came across the start stripe, there were 8 laps. So we're about to see one hell of a shootout here in just a second. Bowling saying it's weird watching Twizzle race. Now I'm not even going to read that. Okay, but yeah. Gonna rack and stack them all back up one more time here in Martinsville Speedway. Almost got me, Bowling. Get everybody back up and going one more time. Boehner, under, over. What do you think on cautions as we finish this up?
We're done with the cautions, Pete, but as you can see, Mathers is, well, here, oh man, my thing's juking me out. Okay, so everyone pit. Oh man, they go side by side. It's gonna be the 7 and the 78, pretty clean. 7 washed up a little bit. Now the 15 is going to look under the 78. This is not what the 78 wanted. He needed to try and tuck in at least behind the 7 to try and go, ooh, as the 7 washes up the track. And maybe Mathers has a good short run car here. He's looking to clear the 78 and go after the 7, Pete.
Yeah, right now 78 right behind the 15. Give the 15 a little bit of a shot, just as he did to the 7. Now that 78's got that preferred low line. Can he actually catch up? Or will the 78 cook the corner? Yes, he did just a little, and that disallowed the 15 from getting a great run on the exit of the corner. As they come across the line next time, we'll go ahead and get a lap count. I think we got to be sitting at about 2 laps remaining. Yes, indeed, going to find ourselves up front with, actually, no, we'll just keep it right there between the
Oh, the
15
one's
and the
around.
78. What's that?
Oh, the Cole 315 was running fourth, and he wrecked in 3 and 4 there. And I think that's either a caution or the end of the race. Pete, what is it? Did we get a caution from that, or was
Man.
that it?
Well, when the 8 came across the line, it said 2 laps to go, so it's probably going to be it. You're probably looking at your finishing order here in just a second. I saw that that entire accident. Yep, that is the race. Time is up on track, so the 7 car of JR Big Dog is going to be your winner. Question is, because I wasn't on him I wasn't Johnny on the spot with the car. Was it the 78 or the 15 of King Mathers for number 2? And his stream says King Mathers. And so we'll be talking to JR Big Dogs, Unforgotten Shadow, and King Mathers in the booth here in just a little bit. Again, guys, definitely want to thank everybody for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, and keeping us company through all the trials and tribulations. Ladies and gents, we will be right back as soon as they finish their cool-down laps. Thanks for keeping it right here. We'll be right back with post-race interviews. Thanks. All right, guys, thanks once again for keeping it right here. Definitely got the top 3 in the booth. Start off with the driver 78, the one and only Unforgotten Shadow. Man, Shadow, you had one hell of a car. It seemed not only on the short run, but the long run as well. You had the track position. It seemed like all race long. Where was it that you needed just a little bit more to take the 78 to the house?
I don't really know. I mean, my car was good. Going back and forth with all the lobby issues. I mean, I kind of was able to test a different preset, which kind of helped out. But then that last run, I switched it back to what felt comfortable, and she was going good, and me and JR were just going like we were just racing. It was just him and I, and nobody else was there. We just checked out, and I mean Mathers was up there as well. Think he may have had a little issues here and there, but that just gave us a chance for me and JR just to duke it out 1-2 mano a mano. But that like probably like the last 20 laps is when we really kind of caught that heavy traffic, and he was definitely a lot better driver bobbing and weaving through that traffic than I was, and I just gave it to him. And then that last caution kind of got me from P2 to P3, but congrats to Mellors on getting second, and also congrats on JR for getting 2 in a row, and actually back to back in his first 2 weeks.
Man, I tell you, you had one hell of a stout car all night long. Way to keep it up there. You kept it clean for the most part. We definitely had a bird's eye view of the racing and the slight contact back and forth, a little bit of a shove to the bumper here and there and whatnot. Phenomenal racing, way to keep it interesting. Thank you very much. Congrats on this P3. And, buddy, I'm looking forward to talking to you again this Sunday once the Shadow Racing League heads on over to race number 2 of that very short season. Man, looking forward to it all. Thank you.
No, thank you, boss.
Absolutely. Banner, you got our second place driver, the one and only driver of the 15, King Mathers. King Mathers.
Mathers, you got coffee?
I do. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Congrats on a P2 finish. Obviously, a lot of back and forth with servers crashing and all that. But tell us about your night. Tell us about your P2 and if there's anything you could have done differently on that restart to try and go up and steal a win there that you wish you had.
Yeah, I felt like the first race that we had going before the servers ended up going crashing. I felt like I had a good preset then, and then I just kept mixing it up every time there was an issue with the servers. We're going back in again. I just got worse from there, and I didn't have a really good car. Shadow should have had second, to be honest with you, but I had to give him what I could for the last lap. And congrats to JR. He had a fast car all night, no matter how many times we went to different lobbies. But overall, that was a good race. But I could have done better with the setup, but I couldn't figure it out.
Well, I can tell you Martinsville is not an easy place to figure out, and it almost seems like no matter what preset you pick, it's going to be getting loose on you at some point. So good job, man, keeping it on the track. Plenty of guys spun out, had issues. You did not. You kept it in the top 3 basically the whole night, and were able to get a second out of it there. So congrats on a great race, and I guess we'll see you on the American Ethanol circuit here shortly, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready for Phoenix, so we'll see what happens next.
Sounds good, bud. Congrats again. And then, Pete, I'll hand it back over to you to get our winner.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Banner.
What's that, buddy?
So thanks, Banner. Thanks, Pete.
No, you're very welcome. Hey, before you, buddy, any shout-outs for you?
Not really. Just thanks to you, man. Like, for hanging in there with all these server issues and still broadcasting and doing what you do, man. Like, if it'd probably be a boring race if you weren't commentating. So
it would have been a boring race. No, you know what? With everything that happened tonight, it would have been interesting. But man, I got to give a lot of thanks to my buddy Boehner here for stepping up. I don't know how many times I told him that between the issues tonight. It was pretty good. Mathers, Vol says you are booty cheeks. I don't know if I want to know why he says that or if I'm just kind of out of the loop on that, but yeah, that's what Vol says.
He means when I race him, I'm clapping his cheeks because that's what happens.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, and then I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna pick up on the one and only JR Big Dogs, driver of that 7 Camaro, one more week. Well, JR, you are batting 100, sir. When I extended the invitation to pick up a little bit more of a challenge on a bigger scale, bigger league, I didn't think you were just going to come on into NNR and go back 2 weeks in a row, picking up 2 wins in a row, man. Congratulations, sir.
I appreciate it, Pete. I appreciate it. I got lucky. There's a lot of talent in here. A lot of talent, a lot of good racing. I'm just fortunate enough to be in it.
Well, not only were you in it, I mean, you the 78 and the 15 were pretty much equal. So I guess we probably could have called close to the top 3 very early in what was the restart of stage 2 when the 3 of you ran away. What did you find in that setup that you can share? Not going to ask you for all your secrets, but what did you find in this that allowed you to have not only the short run speed, but you had kind of a medium run speed as well? Never really saw a long run out of you. Do you think you might have been pretty good there also?
Long run was kind of struggling. I was good on the start, middle through the run. I just try to get the car to be able to roll through the center. I know Mathers was doing a good job with rolling in the centers a couple times. He made little mess ups here and there. Uh, with Unforgotten Shadow, he was real good entering the corner. Letting it roll. I think that's where he was getting me in the entry in the center. I think I was getting them off, but uh, I, I know for probably a good 30 laps, 35 laps, my car was great. And then once I got to 40, 50, it started to fall off there. But I know I dropped the tape a little bit, try to get that downforce in it to get more roll out of the car. Uh, I know the last run there, I did drop tire pressures down. Uh, Not too awful bad, but I did drop them down just to get that more bite.
Well, man, you definitely definitely sounds like you've got a good feel for what you need out of the car in order to get it going. Great hard battling between you and Unforgotten Shadow all night long. He tagged your bumper, moved you up just a little bit, but still kept it clean and gave you a racing groove along the wall to come off side by side. Repaid him, and from there on out, if it hadn't been for that caution, I think it might have ended up the same way, but I don't know. Either way, man, phenomenal job one more time. I'm sure we're going to see you again Saturday night when turned down for what I believe goes to, I forget where they're going at this week. I think it's Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Something kind of jumps out at me, but man, we'll see you again this weekend as well.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Nah,
Great
you're
winning.
absolutely welcome. Any shout outs for you, buddy?
Shout out to you for what you do in the community. With broadcasting, you do a phenomenal job. Glad to have Boehner in the booth. Good to see him in the booth. Like to get him on track. Uh, he's talent right there. So it's good to have him in the booth. Uh, Love racing with Shadow and King Mathers. It was definitely a battle. We went back and forth. He nudged me, I nudged him, but nothing too crazy. Just short track racing deal. But it was fun. It was definitely fun.
It was fun from our side as well. Well, Banner, that's gonna wrap up the Xfinity here from Martinsville. But we're actually gonna get to see you on track tomorrow night when the NNR Cup guys take to the track under the lights, the one and only series that actually gets to. What are you taking away from tonight, sir?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully servers don't crash. It's the main thing. But I want to say congrats again to Big Dogs. Before jumping over to tomorrow night. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow night I think you'll see some guys struggling, and I expect Aviator to be bad fast. I expect Rose and Lucky Dog to be extremely good. So, but I think I'll be in the mix tomorrow. So I'm excited to get after it.
Well, I absolutely wish you a whole lot of luck. Thank you very much one more time for coming on out tonight, keeping it, keeping me busy, and calling what wound up being a pretty good race, irregardless of the server issues. Buddy, thank you very much. But
You're welcome, Pete.
guys, that is going to be it for me tonight. Again, one more time, 8:30 Eastern tomorrow night. The NNR Cup guys is going to come on right back here to the paperclip of Martinsville Speedway. You're not going to want to miss it. Nation, thank you very much for the follow. Make sure you smash that notifications bell as well to know every time we go live. We'll be back tomorrow night. You're not going to want to miss it. I appreciate all y'all for being patient, hanging in there with us. And, please, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask, avoid the big crowds. We all want to get back to track once all this COVID crap is done. Have a good night, everybody, and thanks one more time. Later.